the complete list of the gods of love. And there were many. In the Western Africa region of the Congo, there was Anasa, who was a goddess who represented love, but also the sea, allure, and beauty. There was Irzuli Freyja, who was among the Dahomey belief systems. She was the Loa of love, representing also beauty, jewelry, dancing, luxury, and flowers. In Yoruba beliefs, there was Oshan, who was a goddess of luxury and pleasure, sexuality, fertility, beauty, and love, but also the river and fresh water. She was venerated in the Ifa, or Yoruba belief system, as well as Dahomey mythology. She is kept alive in Santeria and also Haitian voodoo. The Canaanites worshipped or venerated Astarte as the goddess of love, sex, and war, and she was a Canaanite version of Inanna. Qetesh was the goddess of love, beauty, and sex, who would appear in Canaanite mythology, but also appear in Egyptian myth under that same name. Bastet was the goddess of felines, but also love, protection, perfume, beauty, and dance. Bes was the goddess of music, love, and dance. Hathor, of course, was the Nether who represented love, but also beauty, music, and was also a version of a sky goddess. Men, who was the goddess of reproduction, love, and sexual pleasure. Zamani was the goddess of sex, love, and beauty. In Mesopotamia, the aforementioned Ishtar, who was the goddess of love, sex, and war. And in Albanian mythology, there was Prendi, who was the goddess of love, beauty, and fertility. In Lithuanian or Baltic mythology, there was Milda, who was the goddess of love and freedom. In Slavic, there was Dogoda, who was the Polish spirit of the western wind, but associated with love and gentleness. Sebog was the god of love and marriage, where Ziva was the goddess of love and fertility. In Celtic myth, there was Oni, who was an Irish goddess of love, the summer, wealth, and sovereignty, and possibly a solar deity at some point, where Branwen was the Welsh goddess of love and beauty. Clodne was an Irish goddess, sometimes identified as the goddess of love and beauty herself. In Norse mythology, there was Freyja, who was the goddess of love, sex, beauty, war, death, and was also seen as the Norse equivalent of Lofn, a goddess who had permission from Frigg to arrange forbidden marriages. Sophon was another goddess associated with love in the Norse pantheon. In Greek Hellenistic, none stand more prominent than Aphrodite, who is known to be the goddess of love, sex, and beauty, but also Eos, who represented not only love, but also lust and sexuality. Eros, on the other hand, was seen as the god of love and procreation, and was originally a primordial deity, unconnected to Aphrodite. He would later be mating to her son, alluding to Eros being his father, and he would be known in Roman mythology by the name of Cupid. In Roman mythology, Venus was the goddess of love, who was equated to Aphrodite. In Etruscan, there was Albina, who was the goddess of the dawn and the protector of all ill-fated lovers. Turan was the goddess of love and vitality. And in Eastern Asia, in the Hindu myth, there was Kamavita, who was a Hindu god of human love and desire. Rati, who was the consort of Kama, was the goddess of love, carnal desire, lust, passion, and sexual pleasure. In Persian mythology, specifically Zoroastrian, Anahit was the goddess who was most closely associated with fertility, sex, and ultimately love. And in Filipino mythology, there was Bangan, who was the goddess of love and romance. She was the daughter of Bugan and Lumawig. Amas was the Etna deity who moves to pity, love, unity, and peace of the heart. And Manga Yuma was the Talog deity, specializing in charms, especially those that influence the heart with love. In China, there was Yu Lao, who was the god of love, who binds two people together through an invisible red string. Tu Er Shen was a deity who oversees love specifically between effeminate or homosexual men. In Buddhist myth, there was Kuni, who was the god of love, And in Aztec myth, there was Cholchipili, who was a god of love, but also art, games, beauty, dance, flowers, maize, fertility, and the song. And in South America, there was Ruda, who was known to be the god of love, and Ruda, who was a god of love, who predicted the success of lovers who presented themselves to him. The complete list of love gods.